Whenever you come off of a big day like Easter Sunday, there's a tendency to have a bit of a letdown. You know how when you go on a vacation for a week with your spouse or your family or maybe even alone, but when it's all over you kind of feel down. It almost takes another week to snap out of the post-vacation funk. For me, in all transparency, every Monday feels this way a little bit. I have so much excitement and so much expectation and faith for the corporate gathering on that Sunday, and I give my physical and emotional all to every moment. However, as soon as I get home, my body says, I'm done, and I usually fall asleep for a long nap. I know this is fairly normal for most pastors, but I also know it is a normative thing for all of us when we expend a lot of energy emotionally and physically. Our bodies are naturally going to be tired, and we might experience some level of melancholy that carries over into the next few days, or maybe even a week. For you, maybe there is this reality that you've been working really hard towards, obeying God, maybe praying for, and then finally inviting friends or family members to come to church with you on Easter Sunday. Now what? I want you to know that today and every day is yet another gift from God where His mercies are new and His grace is sufficient for you to do exactly whatever He has called you to do. I also want you to know that you don't have to be discouraged because you're tired, or maybe you're down, or you've experienced a little bit of a letdown, or maybe you're disappointed because the people you invited didn't show up. That's perfectly okay, and it's perfectly normal. But please remember, God knows you inside and out. Psalm 103 says, as a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear Him. For He knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. Some say He knows our frame. That may seem like an odd post-resurrection Sunday scripture, but it isn't. I want you to see how much God knows and loves you, and that being human is okay to admit. For Psalm 103, in the context of forgiving our sin and showering us with grace, this scripture reminds us that God is a Father who is understanding and compassionate toward His children. He knows our frame. He knows how we were formed. He remembers that we're but dust. He knows this because He's our Creator. He has infinite knowledge of you and me and our weaknesses. But He doesn't just know, He also loves us and helps us so we can take all of our cares and concerns and frustrations and tiredness to Him, and He can handle it. I hope you can see what a blessing this is. God is a God who knows us and all of our shortcomings intimately, but He still loves us infinitely. There's a full understanding and yet complete acceptance of us. This verse and many others remind us that God's compassion, care, love, and ultimately forgiveness does not depend on our strength or ability. So I guess I just want to free you up today. This week, it's okay to be tired sometimes. It's perfectly normal to be weak at times. It's called being human. It further points to our great need for God. So maybe all the pretty outfits are already put up till next year. Maybe the leftovers are in your fridge and you're already tired of them. Maybe you didn't see a single person you invited to church show up. Maybe you're tired and weak. Don't be worried. Don't be condemned. This is life. Know that God sees you, made you, knows your frame, and is always with you. This is a comforting reality that will help us as we continue to do everything God has called us to do for the glory of His name.